back, everybody. This is the EdgeVerse Techcast. Today, I'm really excited about the episode because we're recapping CES. A lot of us don't get to go there, but this is NXP's flagship show of the year, and it's an event that always sets the tone for what's coming next. So this year, NXP brought to life 3 different experience zones. It was the brighter lives, the brighter places, and the brighter journeys. We also had an incredible lineup of partners that collaborated with us at the show. This included 3 visionary partners that we'll touch on in the podcast. It's Enphase, Audi, and GE Healthcare. So for today's recap, we're going to spend most of our time on the 2 zones that connect directly to the connected edge. That's the industrial and the IoT, and that's brighter lives and brighter places. And guess what? She's been quiet so far. We're doing it with someone who has actually been there. She was on the ground. Bridgette.
Thanks for having me today, Kyle. So happy to be here as co-host and kind of a guest.
So Bridgette, you attended CES in person. So everything you're sharing with us is live experiences. You got real-time reactions. You saw the customer conversations. So let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
So CES is always a big moment. But from what I heard, this year was even bigger. From your perspective, being on site, what made CES 2026 feel a little bit different for NXP?
This one felt especially strong because the story was so intentional and easy to experience. The 3 zones, the brighter lives, places, and journeys that you talked about, weren't just marketing themes. They made it really clear how our technology shows up in the real world. And the biggest difference, it felt actionable. People weren't just seeing future concepts, they were seeing real demos, real partnerships, and real systems thinking, everything tied together through our EdgeVerse ecosystem. It wasn't one chip, one demo, it was hardware plus software, the tech pillars that we talk about, AI, security, connectivity, all working together the way customers actually build and deploy solutions.
I love that. You're talking about system level innovation instead of sometimes you walk around those shows and it's like one-off little thing all by itself.
Exactly. And it also made customer conversations more meaningful because we could connect the tech to outcomes very quickly. Smarter energy, safer healthcare workflows, more adaptive factories, all powered at the edge.
Okay, so let's jump into those topics we keep bringing up. Let's jump into brighter lives because this is the one most centered around human experiences. So talk to us about the GE Healthcare collaboration. And what did you see there and why was it such a standout at the show?
This was absolutely one of the most impactful moments at the show. We showcased a working proof of concept with GE Healthcare around hands-free anesthesia management using voice AI. And when you see it in context, an operating room environment, like it clicks immediately why it matters. Anesthesia is one of the most dynamic roles in the OR. No 2 procedures unfold the same way. Conditions shift minute by minute, and anesthesiologists are balancing constantly monitoring equipment adjustments, documentation, and team coordination. The concept explores how an AI-powered voice-led interface could help simplify tasks like checking patient vitals, confirming anesthesia status, and interacting with systems without needing hands-on control. I guess the real point here is reducing cognitive strain and keeping attention on the patient care while still making critical information instantly accessible.
It's really showing an application for AI. It's not just putting AI in something because you can. It's putting edge intelligence applied to a real workflow problem that can benefit from the AI.
Yes, and what makes it even more powerful is the concept of doing this intelligence at the edge with the speed and responsiveness you need in a high-stakes environment like acute care. Another exciting part, it's not limited to one use case. This kind of approach could expand into more integrated OR data, more secure workflow interaction, and future concept like proximity-based authentication.
Oh, and I'm sure our listeners have a ton of other applications where this type of approach can make their products better. All right, now switching gears, talking about the other products. So CES always has that high-tech future. You see the posts and the things show up on your feed, and you go, wow, this is really cool technology. When I was talking to you, you mentioned Thermomix. It was a really cool demo. What made that worth highlighting for you?
Thermomix was such a fun example because it's very human, very relatable way to show how intelligent edge experiences are becoming normal in everyday life. At its core, Thermomix is an all-in-one connected cooking appliance. It can do a ton of functions in one device, and it uses a guided touchscreen cooking experience to walk you through step-by-step recipes. So people instantly get it. They see how smart devices are evolving beyond just being connected into intuitive, guided, and interactive. XP perspective, it's also a great reminder whether you're talking about a kitchen experience or an industrial system, the same themes show up again and again. Reliable edge computing, secure connectivity, and smooth user interaction.
And I guess what you're saying is with this Thermomix, that the EdgeVerse can also help me from not burning all the things that I try to cook for my meal planning.
Kyle, I'm saying the future is super bright and also apparently delicious.
Oh, I hope so, because some of the food I cook can miss on that. So looking forward to this Thermomix thing. All right. You also talked about energy, and it was huge at CES. Everybody's focused on doing more with what we have and making the earth a better place. So let's bring it back to brighter places and talk about secure energy management. So, what was the story that you saw unfold about that, and why does it matter right now?
I mean, you hit upon it. Energy is becoming one of the defining challenges of the next decade and beyond. Demand is rising fast from electrification, from data centers, from AI workloads, and the systems we've relied on aren't built for the level of real-time complexity we're entering. The secure energy management story really focused on this. We're moving from centralized energy systems to distributed energy ecosystems that requires devices to communicate and coordinate securely at scale with complexity increasing in these ecosystems. The demo highlighted how edge intelligence and secure connectivity can support a future where energy infrastructure is more adaptive, more responsive, and definitely more resilient. And because flexible energy is the direction we're heading, the future grid needs to absorb change constantly. Weather shifts, demand spikes, new generation sources, storage, EVs, all of it. And if you want flexibility, you need intelligence at the edge plus security you can trust.
Yeah, the power grid is a huge area where I'm excited. I've been in this industry a long time, and there's been a lot of talk about the intelligent grid. So that's exciting. But I think from what you're talking about, trust is the key word when you're talking about this power grid.
Exactly. When energy is connected and distributed, security becomes foundational, not optional.
All right. Well, let's close strong, Bridgette. Let's discuss NXP's partners, specifically in the industrial space. We've absolutely got to talk about Enphase and Exor because those demos that you talked about really bring the ecosystem story to life. Why don't you start with Enphase? What did you take away from that collaboration?
Enphase was a major highlight, and it connected perfectly to the flexible energy conversation. The core idea is that the grid is under strain. We all know that, and we can't wait for centralized infrastructure timelines to catch up. Enphase is flipping the model, turning the home into an active energy hub. A perfect example is their work around bidirectional EV charging, where your EV isn't just consuming energy, it can also supply energy back to the home when it matters. Now your car becomes part of the energy solution. Backup power, peak shifting, resilience. It's a really powerful vision. And the thing Enphase emphasized, and rightfully so, is that this only works if it's safe, reliable, and effortless. Homeowners shouldn't have to think about all the complexity behind the scenes. And that's where NXP comes in, the trusted intelligence and the secure control. Again, a lot of these same themes at the edge to help make the invisible complexity feel seamless to the end user.
All right, that was excellent. So why don't we go even further into these industrial applications? Why don't you tell us about Exor and their work on the software-defined factory?
This is one of the strongest, brightest places stories because it's exactly what industrial customers are dealing with. Factories that need to adapt faster, but complexity is exploding. The software defined factory demo with Exor showcased a secure edge foundation that can help a factory become more flexible and responsive without sacrificing trust. Some of the big themes were supporting multiple sensors and field bus protocols, enabling faster integration, applying edge intelligence for things like fault detection or anomaly insights, and also secure user interface and making sure whoever's working on the system has the right access, and using AI as a powerful tool to ensure there's security when authorizing specific users. And of course, supporting modern software driven operations across industrial environments. It was a great example of how EdgeVerse shows up in real life, not a single product moment, but as an ecosystem ready approach to solving real industrial challenges.
Yeah, and I think, as you said, the future is having a factory that's more adaptive. With the energy system becoming more flexible, it all depends on that secure edge intelligence. How can it take advantage of all of the technology and all of the things that we bring to the table?
Yep, brighter places in action.
All right, Bridgette, that was awesome. So thanks a lot for the CES recap. Thanks for bringing the show floor into the studio today.
Yep, it was great to be co-host, of course, and a guest. And to our listeners out there, a lot of this demo content, these stories are all available on nxp.com. So make sure you go to the website and check out all the wrap up and live demos that are posted.
Yeah, we'll put them into the episode notes. Let me recap. So CES had 3 zones, right? Full solutions, not just a simple technology demo. We had great collaboration with our partners like G Healthcare, Enphase, and Exor. And Bridgette, here's an idea. If any of you guys that are listening appreciated what Bridgette was talking about, why don't you drop it in the comments? And then, Bridgette, why don't we engage one of those partners to join the future episode and answer some of those questions?
Great idea. I like it, Kyle.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to the EdgeVerse Techcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share with all of your friends. And we'll catch you next time on the EdgeVerse Techcast.